Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See store for details. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month.
You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
And we're back. It's been a while, but it's great to have Yaacov Behrman with us. He's a community leader, activist. He's involved not just in the Crown Heights Jewish community, but also in voter registration and things to promote the community. So, Yaacov, good ben shar to you and your family. Welcome back. And I also want to extend my condolences of the passing of your brother, your older brother, Dr. Douglas Burman. May his memory be a blessing.
Thank you very much. A good year, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Tell us, I think it was Tuesday last week, you had a rally, about 1,200 people?
Yeah, actually, it was just a unbelievable, proud moment in Crown Heights history. About 1,200 of us walked from Kingston on Eastern Parkway, about a mile to the Brooklyn Museum, holding signs, "We're Jewish and we're proud. Every hostage will come home." Do mitzvahs in honor of the hostages, and men, women, children of all ages. And we met about 300 people from Park Slope at the museum. We had a rally of Torah, Tefillah, and Tzedakah, and we called for the release of the hostages. And we were just proud Jews, openly and proudly and peacefully. We wanted to send a message. You know, there have been many, many demonstrations and hate-filled rallies at that location at the museum. That you can demonstrate peacefully, you can abide by the law, and we're not afraid to be Jewish. And, you know, I personally, a few months ago, was walking past the museum on a Friday. I was surrounded by a crowd that started to scream, "We don't want Zionists here." And others have been attacked at that museum. And as a community, we wanted to unite and send a clear message that we're unafraid, we're proud to be Jewish. And we're going to continue proclaiming it and celebrating our heritage and our past and our future. And it was a beautiful moment. It wasn't just me, by the way. There were a number of organizers, including Sam Stern from Crown Heights, Malcolm Light, Shia Gordon, Shlomi Hecht, Lazer Opson, Rabbi Lazer Opson, Shmuley Kubstein. A number of us got together and we said we can't let October 7th, October 8th pass, because it's, you know, the English date and the Hebrew anniversary is Simchas Torah. We weren't sure what was the appropriate, course of action, how to commemorate the lives lost. We knew it's an important date, so we decided that we're going to have a Jewish march, a Jewish walk, where we're going to celebrate our pride, celebrate our Jewishness proudly, and that's what we did. And it was just a brilliant evening.
Was it mainly members of the Crown Heights Jewish community that were there?
So about 1,200 walked from Crown Heights, which were members of the community, and about 300 from the Park Slope area. But it was families, a lot of families, a lot of young couples with the children, older, middle-aged, older seniors in the community. It was really, you think about it, that on a Tuesday night at 7:00 at night, 1,200 people or 1,500 people, if you include the broader, the other communities that joined, walk a mile just to scream Torah Tzibul Ana Moshe, just to scream Am Yisrael Chai, just to demonstrate that we're unafraid and to support our brethren in Israel, to send a message of solidarity, a message of love. We're very impressive outcome, and we're proud of our community. Our community, turned out in great numbers with very little notice and no advertising or anything, very little advertising, because we care. We care about what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. We care what's going on in New York. I mean, Zev, you're aware, as I am, that since October 7th, there was a tremendous increase in anti-Semitism, in hate rallies, and attacks on Jews. At the same time, there was an increase in Jewish pride and Jewish unity. More people are putting on tefillin. More people are going to shul. More people are wearing yarmulkes. People stop me all the time, asking me if I'm okay. Whenever if I'm ever at an event where contentious, people come out of come on, are you okay? Somebody once attacked me on a train. People came out and said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Or they'll whisper, "Am Yisrael Chai," or they'll shout it. So I think that we're in a very, very important time in Jewish history.
No, it's nice that you were able to put together this rally. It's so important, and to have 1,200 or 1,500 people march is certainly kudos to you and the whole group that put it together.
and march peacefully, Zev. You know,
well, Jews march peacefully. It's not the Jews that are not marching peacefully. Well, let me say this.
Listen, the police department.
Yes.
A huge shout out to the police department, Ira Jablonski from Brooklyn South, and
you're a wonderful young
Mike
man.
Beretta from 71st. These guys were great, and 77th precinct, and 78th, and 79th precincts. But they set the rules. They told us where we could go, where we can't go. The crowd at some point wanted to go into the Parkway. We're a big group. You know, if it was another group demonstrating, they would have taken the Parkway. The police department told us no, stick to the island, the service lane, and the people respected it. We respect the law, respect the law of the land, respect NYPD, and we appreciate, their professionalism in allowing us to, protecting us and helping us with the traffic. And it's very different from the demonstrations you see there every month where the police department, are attacked, where the museum is defaced, where the street is closed, where there was no hate. Everything was about, we're Jewish, we're proud, we're going to celebrate it, we're unafraid. We stand with the brethren in the worldwide Jewish community. We stand with Israel. We demand the release of the hostages, all the positive messaging. And when you have a crowd of 1,500 people, it is a big deal, Zev. It
is a big deal, but, Jews, and I should say Jews that are supporters of Israel tend to be orderly. Look at what happened in Washington about almost a year ago. We had a big rally. What was it? 300,000 people or more, orderly. But when you have Jews who are part of working with Hamas and marching with them, those rallies are disorderly and those are violent. They attack the police, attack institutions, attack buildings. So there's a big difference. And I think, your group was a peaceful group. And I think that's for the most part, Jewish groups that march are peaceful.
Well, I'm not saying that ordinary behavior should be applauded. I'm not saying that it's anything out of the norm. Yes, we as New Yorkers, and not just Jews, most New Yorkers, we respect the law. We're peaceful people. The vast majority of us in New York, Jews and non-Jews, vast majority of Crown Heights. But I'm just trying to make a point that at that very location, every single month, there's acts of violence, acts of hate. And it was beautiful to see just a lovely group of people there celebrating their heritage, celebrating their past, their future in a peaceful way. And I'm sure, I hope that the others learn from us. You can, make your voice heard. You don't have to destroy property. You don't have to attack people. You don't have to endanger people. You don't have to, there's ways to speak out forcefully, but peacefully.
Let me ask you to put on your Chabad hat, because I know you're active in the Chabad community too for many, many years. The other day, President Donald Trump went to visit the Ohel, and a lot of the prominent Chabad rabbis were there. It was a whole big event. Were you there?
I was not present. No, I was not there.
So what do you think about the fact that the Rebbe, where his resting place was visited by the former president of the United States, with all great big Chabad leaders from Washington, from all over the country?
Is that what you're asking me, if I feel that the Rebbe was validated by the president?
Not validated, but I'm saying, how do you feel about the fact that President Trump paid tribute to the Rebbe by going to his graveside?
I think that the kever of a tzaddik, any tzaddik, and especially the Rebbe, because he was my Rebbe, for me especially the Rebbe. And I went there as a child, even before the Rebbe passed away. I would frequently, every Rosh Hashanah, several times a year, we would go visit, the previous Rebbe's gravesite and pray there. I feel that if there's some sort of awareness of the importance of kivrei tzaddikim, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. I think that it's all going to the kever of a tzaddik is really, there's a lot of mystical explanations and Talmudic, sources for it and everything. It's really a spiritual, a Jew goes to the kever of a tzaddik to pray to God, to ask that tzaddik maybe advocate on their behalf, or because it's a holy place and they feel that their prayers may be accepted. And if the president's visits, or the former president's visits, will encourage more people to self-reflect, to look into their Jewish roots and to look into their past, or to visit the Sion of a tzaddik, it's a good thing. I feel that because the president visited the Ohel, it's more meaningful to me, or it's I come from Bolshevik parents. My mother grew up in Hollywood. Her mother was escaped Berlin, at the beginning of the Holocaust. She went to school with Frank Sinatra Jr. I think in 5th grade, she dated Michael Douglas. Her father, did business with Kirk Douglas. She grew up in she was by Kennedy's inauguration. She grew up in a very wealthy, let's call it Hollywood environment. Her neighbors, celebrities on her block, and she became to Chabad because of its depth, because of its meaning, because of its simplicity. When she came to Chabad in the late 60s, early 70s, it was a simplistic movement, a pure movement. They weren't into the excitement, and nobody cared if a celebrity came to the Rebbe, didn't come to the Rebbe in those days. So as a chassid of the Rebbe, the president going there, it has no impact in my relationship to the Rebbe or anything like that. Doesn't validate the location for me. Doesn't make the location more meaningful. But if there was a lot of awareness surrounding the visits, and I think it's a nice thing for the president to come to this location, whether it's to show tribute to the Rebbe or it's October 7th, I think it's a positive visit. And if it encourages Jews to explore their faith or to visit the kever of the Rebbe or other tzaddikim, then it's a positive visit, and I support.
Is it a political move? Because it would look like that, hey, is Chabad supporting Donald Trump?
Well, I can tell you that Chabad, and Chabad does not support candidates. The Rebbe never supported candidates. The Rebbe was opposed to Chabad as a movement. And when I say Chabadniks, I'm a Chabadnik as well, but as Chabad as a movement, being political, the Rebbe opposed them taking sides in elections or being involved. And Chabad obviously is not, Chabad as a movement is not endorsing any candidates and hasn't endorsed. And I don't think it was a political move because I think it came from the campaign. I think that people that are close to the campaign have visited the Rebbe and they thought it was a good thing, and they encouraged the president to go. And I think the president went. Why the president went? If he was if he went for spiritual reasons, if he went for campaign reasons, I think that he's going to have to speak to that. And I'm confident, knowing President Trump's history, he's going to speak to that at some point in the future. We're going to hear he's going to talk about it, and I think that we'll know. But I'm not going to. I can't psychoanalyze the president to know why he went.
Did I read in some posting? I don't know if it was WhatsApp or I get so much mail, I don't even keep track of where it comes from, that Donald Trump's stock went up after he visited the Rebbe's kever, his grave. Did you see that?
It's possible that was there, but it's silly. It's silly because that's not what the kever of Tzaddik is. It's not a magical place where you go and magic happens. You go and you pray to God, and the Rebbe advocates for you, and if God decides to answer your prayers, God answers your prayers. It's not something like you walk and magic happens automatically. It's not how it works. And if by divine providence his ratings went up, which whatever, we don't even know what that means. If it's ratings,
his stock go right up. I would have to find
his
again.
Stock is financial. You're saying?
Yes. Some of his stocks went up after you visit the grave. I'm just saying what I read. I don't know. Reporting. I'm just telling you what I've.
And now did it go down or it's still up?
I don't know. I didn't check over Yom Kippur.
I don't know. Is it possible? I don't pretend to know. How things are connected, the spiritual and the physical and anything like that. I can't, it's, the Rebbe spoke in the 90s about how when Russia turned weapons of destruction into weapons of peace, they were, at that time, they were taking their military weapons, they were using it to plow fields or something. And the Rebbe spoke then that it's a sign of Mashiach. And years later, we saw, that Russia, went to war, and we saw what was happening in Afghanistan and Iraq, terrible wars and terrible destruction. I was in California then, and I remember I spoke then, maybe evil was resurrected. If the Rebbe spoke in the 90s that weapons of mass destruction were being used for positive things, the sign of Mashiach, maybe now we see a lot of negativity in the world, a lot of destruction, maybe evil was resurrected. There's a rabbi in California, a famous scholar, Ezra Shachat, and he told me that to understand, and he taught me something. He said a Rebbe, a tzaddik, could see something physical and see the spiritual reasoning. He could sort of say this happened because of that. We don't understand the spiritual and the physical, and we don't understand the connections of what happened in the physical and whether the spiritual caused the physical or whether it didn't go. We don't have that capacity, or we don't have that vision. So I have no idea, Zev. But if you want to know that. You ask me whether to invest in Trump stocks, I'm not going to give you advice, Zev.
Yaacov Behrman is a guest community leader in Crown Heights. He's active in voter registration. As you heard, helped organize 12 or 1,500 people to march in support of Israel peacefully in Crown Heights. We're going to be right back. We'll take some of your phone calls, 212-769-1925, 212-769-1925. Email is a wonderful way to have your questions answered, zev@talklinenetwork.com. We're still giving away passes to the movie Bardio, which you can use for Chalamod. It's a free pass. You can watch it on your computer or your cell phone. Send me an email to zev@talklinenetwork.com. You want to put show a movie in the byline, but I need your name, address, and zip code to qualify. Later on, Rabbi Gil Student will join us. He's written a book called Articles of Faith, Traditional Jewish Belief in the Internet Era. We'll give you a chance to win some of his books later on during the course of our show as well. We're going to be right back. Don't go away. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Talkline Network.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Corner Hardware and Paint Center at 2266 Nostrand Avenue, between Avenues H and I in Brooklyn. It's your toolbox with over 9,000 square feet of convenience. Ace has everything you need for sukkahs, including wooden panels, sock mats, folding beds, cots, folding tables, chairs, vinyl floors, lighting, and so much more. Shopping at Corner Hardware is a delight, as everything can be found in one handy place. Ace Corner Hardware is the handy place at 2266 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, with plenty of free parking. So handy, you can even call or ask questions on WhatsApp at 718-927-4300. That's 718-927-4300. Great news. One quick same-day delivery. Look for Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Great for last-minute shopping through DoorDash.
Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See store for details. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month.
If you're traveling anywhere over Yom Tov, take Meal Mart with you. Whether you're on the road or relaxing at your destination, they have a full line of Meal Mart amazing meals, lots of choices for on the go, including beef steak and stuffed cabbage that microwaves in minutes. Or you can go cold turkey, cold pastrami, salami, bologna, or corned beef. The choice is yours. Meal Mart for an amazing trip with amazing choices.
If you're looking to have yourself a meaningful and inspiring Chol Hamoed evening at home with your family, then you need to rent the movie Bardio on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, Google Play, Vimeo, or YouTube. That's Bardejov, Bardejov. My name is Yaacov Viscus, Director of Marketing and Distribution for Bardejov Films, and I want to tell you a little bit more about Bardejov. It's based on a true story, and it reveals the daring plan devised by Rafuel Lowy, a successful winemaker, and he was the leader of the community of Bardejov. And he devises a plan to save the young women of Bardejov from being included in the first official Jewish transport to Auschwitz. I'm not going to tell you how, but it's incredibly ingenious, but also dangerous. This is not just another Holocaust movie. This is a story about the power of tefillah, of prayer, the strength of community to take even the darkest and most powerful forces on. And it's a story about never backing down. Even more remarkable, the film was produced by a Holocaust survivor from the town of Bardejov. His name is Emil Fish, founder of Yeshiva University's Emil and Jenny Fish Center for Holocaust and Genocide Studies. And there may be no other film ever produced by a survivor about his hometown's Holocaust story, which in and of itself is incredibly inspiring. Again, the film is available to rent on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, Google Play, Vimeo, or YouTube. You can watch it at home, and after you do, you're going to want to urge your community, your shul, community center, house of worship, and the like to go and visit www.shoahhero.com to book a live community screening. That's www.shoahhero.com, where you can also learn more about the film. Wishing everyone a Chag Sameach and Am Yisrael Chai.
Now is a time of need for Israel. It's been a year since terrorists brutally attacked Israel, taking the lives of over 1,200 innocent people in their homes, burning towns to the ground, and capturing hundreds as hostages. It's been a year of resilience, unity, and relentless determination. Meir Panim has rebuilt lives and restored hope for those who need it most. As the high holidays approach, Thousands of Israelis are still struggling, anxious, scared, with loved ones on the front lines. 2.6 million Israelis live in poverty. How will they celebrate the high holidays? Mayor Panim is here to help, but time is running out before the high holidays. Visit mpdonate.org. That's mpdonate.org, or call 877-7-DONATE. That's 877-7-DONATE. Help Mayor Panim add joy as the high holidays approach. Shana Tova.
If you're looking for a short-term rehab after a hospital stay, I'd like to introduce you to MJHS Menorah Center for Rehabilitation and Nursing Care. MJHS Menorah Center provides exceptional short-term rehab to help you get back on your feet and comprehensive long-term care for those who need extended support. Located on the picturesque Manhattan Beach in Brooklyn, Menorah Center offers expansive ocean views that bring peace and tranquility. Menorah Center observes all dietary restrictions and has a rabbi on site, catering to your spiritual and dietary needs. It is also the last Jewish not-for-profit nursing home in Brooklyn, continuing a legacy of compassionate care. Since family visits are important, they provide free on-site parking, making it easy for loved ones to visit and stay connected whenever they want. MJHS Menorah Center for Rehabilitation and Nursing Care, where exceptional care is combined with a touch of home. Discover why Menorah is the perfect place for your recovery and long-term care needs. Visit menorahcenter.org to learn more, or schedule a visit by calling 718-851-5960. Imagine a job where every day is about making a difference, where every day you're growing your career and empowering others. Direct support professionals are the champions who advocate for and support people with developmental disabilities. They are the people in our community fulfilling a calling that's more than work. Join us on a path that transforms lives, including your own. Apply to be a direct support professional at directsupportcareers.com. It's more than work. It's your calling.
Hi, this is Trudy Stern, and I want to invite you to join me for Nothing But the Truth Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. You will hear nothing but the truth from leading elected officials and experts about world events and current issues affecting our community. So join me, Trudy Stern, Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. on Zev Brenner's Talkline Network, WSNR 620 AM, WNEW 102.7 FM HD3, and online at talklinenetwork.com. Hope you will join me as we delve into nothing but the truth about current events that affect our community most.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Corner Hardware and Paint Center at 2266 Nostrand Avenue, between Avenues H and I in Brooklyn, is your toolbox with over 9,000 square feet of convenience. Ace has everything you need for sukkahs, including wooden panels, sock mats, folding beds, cots, folding tables, chairs, vinyl floors, lighting, and so much more. Shopping at Corner Hardware is a delight, as everything can be found in one handy place. Ace Corner Hardware is the handy place at 2266 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, with plenty of free parking. So handy, you can even call or ask questions on WhatsApp at 718-927-4300. That's 718-927-4300. Great news. One quick same-day delivery. Look for Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Great for last-minute shopping through DoorDash.
Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See store for details. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month.
Zu jeder Jiden und alle Jiden, wo nur sich gefühlen sich und gräßen sich mit Kabel sein, Pnei, Mischiach, Zitkeno, ohne kein Jehirot.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, on the air since 1981. Please call us with your questions and comments at 212-769-1925. That's 212-769-1925. Or email us at zevbrenner@gmail.com.
And we're back. Yaacov Behrman, community leader, activist from Crown Heights, is our guest, active in so many different areas. So let us.
We just heard that Ebba's voice. Was that an ad? What was that?
No, that was just a recording. We play that. We play Shlomo Kabach just throughout the week, wishing everybody a good year. Feel it's a nice goodwill gesture for everybody, but it's not an ad.
Very nice.
You didn't see anybody promoting it. It was just that somebody sent it to me, and I thought it was wonderful, and I decided let's put it on the air. It's a nice thing to do to give people a good spirit for this new year. We need protection, divine protection. We need whatever protection we have, and you can never get enough of good wishes.
Always good to hear that Ebba's voice. Absolutely.
Okay, I think we have Ira in Borough Park. Ira in Borough Park, are you there?
Yes. Rabbi Burman, first, I want to say I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your brother.
Thank you.
And God should give us and all peace-loving people only a year of good news.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you. And I wanted to say it's very inspiring to hear about somebody that walks the walk and doesn't only talk the talk. Well, I want to ask you, Rabbi Berman, what do you think about the idea of possibly going to, to promote the light? We're supposed to be a light unto the nations. How about being a light by going to the DA's, outside the DA's office and demonstrate out there for all people, not only the Jews that are suffering in Crown Heights, but the Jews and all other people that are suffering from the crime that is totally over the top. Why not go outside of DA Bragg's office? I don't think anybody has done it. I'm not sure. But let the Jews be a light and let us lead that fight.
I'm in. What can I say?
You're in. Okay, so you signed up for it. It's so there'll be
the Manhattan DA, not just to be clear, the Manhattan DA, not the Brooklyn DA. I think that Brooklyn DA is doing
right. I'm sorry.
Brooklyn DA is doing his best, and I've only had positive interactions with his office. But the Manhattan DA has made his policies very well known, and he doesn't seem to care very much about crime. And if people want to demonstrate and call on law enforcement, be law enforcement, to act as law enforcement and to enforce the law, I think everybody's going to benefit from that. All communities.
And by the way, I'm sure you're aware of this, Yaakov. One of the reasons why anti-Semitism is so high, yes, there are a lot of people who hate Jews, but when crime is so high, where you can get away robbing a store, beating somebody up in the street, you can get away with being an anti-Semite and beating up a Jew as well. So when the crime levels go down, it won't eliminate anti-Semitism, but you'll find that it'll make anti-Semites less bold to go out and do what they're doing. But now when crime is rampant, you can get away with anything, including beating up Jews and really fighting with Jews. And there's little consequence. That's the problem.
No, I absolutely agree. When the criminals are out, all sorts of criminals are out, including anti-Semitic criminals.
Ira, thank you for your phone call.
Thank you. Have a good year.
A good year. Okay. So you're also involved in voter registration. I've been talking to some community leaders in different areas that we have to do a lot more voter registration, because if we can sign up another 5,000, 10,000 people who actually will vote, we can make a difference in lots of elections in New York City.
Right. So I'm working both from the voter registration end to register people, but also to educate people on the importance of voting. Zev, I sent you a video earlier. If anybody wants to Google Medarif Gay and voting, which means we have to go out and vote. We did a documentary with 4 people from Crown Heights, all about, around 90 years old. Some of them have escaped Russia. Some have been born in America, but senior members of the community. Dedeba's secretary's wife spoke about how Dedeba himself voted in the early years in person. And we also did a project with COL Live, and we had also they had a magazine where we did written interviews with people. I think two of the people we interviewed were 95 years old. And they spoke about the importance of voting and how it's part of Jewish history and part of our Jewish DNA. And they spoke about why we're lucky to be Americans and why we're privileged to have this right to vote. People that escaped the war, that escaped, that were many, many years didn't have a citizenship. They were, countryless, as we say. They had no country. They had no.
We're going to play part of it right now for people to hear.
we're privileged here in America to be able to vote. Many years ago, I had a lot of friends that came from Europe, Eastern Europe, particularly where they didn't have a right to vote, or if they did vote, it was forced.
He's 95 years old, by the way.
Shopsy
When the
Turner.
war broke out in 1941,
Did have a secretary's wife.
my mother was alone with 3 babies, and my father was taken to the gulag because he chefed a chicken or he got a boy to learn something, and that was counter-revolutionary.
We ended up in the P camps in Germany. We stayed in the barracks that the American soldiers used to use. We didn't have a house there, we were like an apartment. We were 14 years old, I didn't have an apartment. We didn't have an apartment. We always lived in one room, the whole family in one room.
Coming to America was like, you can't imagine, you felt a different air.
Everybody wanted to go to the United States, but they had a quota. They didn't live in a lot of people, not like now.
My father came in 1928 to America. By my father, my mother, was the most important thing, was voting.
This is the first card that I registered to vote 64 years ago.
I remember going to get my citizenship and getting my card. I still have my card, 1961, I think.
It was a big deal because the whole time we were stateless. In all the places that we were, we never were there a long time. We kept moving all the time. This was the first time that, I could apply, and I was very excited when I became a citizen.
When I was a kid, President Roosevelt drove down Pitkin Avenue in a big convertible right after the war. My father and all the Jews getting out of shul on Shabbos, and they all ran down to Pitkin Avenue. The street was packed with Eden or Streimler. Came to see the President of the United States driving down the street on Pitkin Avenue.
Crowds at Ebbets Baseball Field, Brooklyn, greet President Roosevelt starting his tour of New York City. Here on the...
I remember my father put me on his shoulders and that I should see the President. Stop saying the President of America. A chance to say the President of America.
It's a beautiful neighborhood. I used to go, there wasn't a place to walk. We used to go from St. Mark's, the Rebbe of Fabrengen with our little kids, me and my sister, and at night we weren't afraid to walk.
You could sleep outside, you could leave things outside, you could have your doors open. They were about, I would say, 90 to 95% Crown Heights was Jewish.
My husband had a friend, Shmuel Schrage, and Mendel Shem Tov. They were very active with Mayor Beam. They arranged rallies for him. They encouraged the people to go out and vote.
I remember clearly by a Fabrengen, the Reverend said you should go out and vote by the elections.
I remember that time when my husband was working for the Rebbe, and it's in the 60s. And the Rebbe said, "Man darf gehen voten." And I remember my husband got him the address where to vote, and the Rebbe went to vote.
Attention, all residents of Ohel election day.
I voted every time there was an election. I never missed an election in my life.
Vote. Don't be a fool. We just sit by and say, well, my vote ain't important. That's not true. Your vote is important.
It's the only voice that the populace has. It's the only recourse that we have.
We're blessed to be here and be citizens and have this right.
I think it's a privilege. When you are in Europe, we had no rights. We are voiceless. If you don't vote, you can't complain.
You have to go to vote. Important. It's your privilege. It's your honor. It's your mensch.
And there you go. That's a powerful video for voting. So how was the voting record, by the way, in Crown Heights?
You're asking a great question, but I just want to comment for a second on that video. We want the youth to understand that it's part of us. It's important. It's mainstream Judaism. Jews have always voted, and it's important to vote. It's not a secular concept. It's an idea which you could be a frum Jew, and this could be an important part of your life, voting. every one of those people we interviewed were prominent, respected senior members of Crown Heights. And I think the message was
privilege here in America.
very well received.
Many
The
years
voting
ago,
record.
and a lot of
What's the
friends
voting
that came
record? We're
from,
going to lower
I'm going to
that.
tell you right now. So the voting record in Crown Heights, I'm actually read you off my little data book here. In 2013, 2021, our voting record went up about 200%. To include newly registered, it's 400%. So we have in Crown Heights today, we have approximately 5,628 registered Democrats. That's including people that are, that are no longer active voters, including people that have passed away, unfortunately. But we have since 2020, we had 3,756 Democrats that voted at least once, 1,077 Republicans, and 676 people that are not registered to not Republican, not Democrat, and we have 38 conservatives. We had about 5,600 people that voted at least once since 2020. And since then, we had another about 500 registered voters. The last 8 months, I haven't yet, I pulled the data, but I haven't yet, my data person is going through it now. So we have about 6,000 eligible voters in Crown Heights that are registered to vote. They could vote in a general election, which means for president, in terms of primaries, we have about 4,000 people that could vote in the primary.
Yaacov Behrman is our guest just for a little while longer. He's a community leader, activist, and involved voter registration, very active both in the Chabad community and the general Jewish community as far as getting people to be involved in the electoral process. We're going to be right back. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Later on, we'll be speaking to Rabbi Gail Student about articles of faith, the internet, and Judaism. If you want to participate, we'll try to squeeze in one or two more phone calls, 212-769-1925, or email zev@talklinenetwork.com. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
If you're looking to have yourself a meaningful and inspiring Chol Hamoed evening at home with your family, then you need to rent the movie Bardayov on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, Google Play, Vimeo, or YouTube. That's Bardayov, Bardejov. My name is Yaacov Behrman, Director of Marketing and Distribution for Bardayov Films, and I want to tell you a little bit more about Bardayov. It's based on a true story, and it reveals the daring plan devised by Rafuel Lowy, a successful winemaker, and he was the leader of the community of Bardayov, and he devises a plan to save the young women of Bardayov from being included in the first official Jewish transport to Auschwitz. I'm not going to tell you how, but it's incredibly ingenious, but also dangerous. This is not just another Holocaust movie. This is a story about the power of tefillah, of prayer, the strength of community to take even the darkest and most powerful forces on. And it's a story about never backing down. Even more remarkable, the film was produced by a Holocaust survivor from the town of Bardayov. His name is Emil Fish, founder of Yeshiva University's Emil and Jenny Fish Center for Holocaust and Genocide Studies. And there may be no other film ever produced by a survivor about his hometown's Holocaust story, which in and of itself is incredibly inspiring. Again, the film is available to rent on Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, Google Play, Vimeo, or YouTube. You can watch it at home, and after you do, you're going to want to urge your community, your shul, community center, house of worship, and the like to go and visit www.shoahhero.com to book a live community screening. That's www.shoahhero.com, where you can also learn more about the film. Wishing everyone a Chag Sameach and Am Yisrael Chai.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Corner Hardware and Paint Center at 2266 Nostrand Avenue, between Avenues H&I in Brooklyn, is your toolbox with over 9,000 square feet of convenience. Ace has everything you need for sukkahs, including wooden panels, sock mats, folding beds, cots, folding tables, chairs, vinyl floors, lighting, and so much more. Shopping at Corner Hardware is a delight, as everything can be found in one handy place. Ace Corner Hardware is the handy place at 2266 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, with plenty of free parking. So handy, you can even call or ask questions on WhatsApp at 718-927-4300. That's 718-927-4300. Great news. One quick same-day delivery, look for Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Great for last-minute shopping through DoorDash.
Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See store for details. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month.
If you're looking to get the best of Love Minutes program, come to the Arbor Medium Shook 2 days only, all day Tuesday and Wednesday, October 15th and 16th, located at Varetsky Hall, 1102 Avenue L in Brooklyn. Call or text them 732-740-6819. I'm planning to get my Love Minutes program from Varetsky Hall on Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, that's 732-740-6819 for the best selection of the Love Minutes program and posters. If you're traveling anywhere over Yom Tov, take Mealmart with you. Whether you're on the road or relaxing at your destination, they have a full line of Mealmart amazing meals, lots of choices for on the go, including beef steak and stuffed cabbage that microwaves in minutes. Or you can go cold turkey, cold pastrami, salami, bologna, or corned beef. The choice is yours. Mealmart for an amazing trip with amazing choices.
Now is a time of need for Israel. It's been a year since terrorists brutally attacked Israel, taking the lives of over 1,200 innocent people in their homes, burning towns to the ground, and capturing hundreds as hostages. It's been a year of resilience, unity, and relentless determination. Meir Panim has rebuilt lives and restored hope for those who need it most. As the high holidays approach, thousands of Israelis are still struggling, anxious, scared, with loved ones on the front lines. 2.6 million Israelis live in poverty. How will they celebrate the high holidays? Meir Panim is here to help, but time is running out before the high holidays. Visit mpdonate.org. That's mpdonate.org. Or call 877-7-DONATE. That's 877-7-DONATE. Help Meir Panim add joy as the high holidays approach. Shana Tova.
Stell sich vor eine Arbeit, wo jeder Tag ihr Machen und Untergeht, wo jeder Tag ihr Wachsen deine Karriere und verstärken andere. Direkt stützen Professionals sind die Championen, was reden für und stützen Menschen mit Entwicklung Disabilities. Sie sind die Menschen in unserer Kihios, was sind mit keinem Missia, was ist größer von der Arbeit. Kommt zusammen mit uns auf den Weg, was können übermachen Lebens, reingerechnet an eigene. Anwenden zu seiner direkt stützen Professional bei directsupportcareers.com. Es ist größer von Arbeit. Das ist dein Missia. ShopRite of McDonald Avenue in Brooklyn at Avenue I is the place to go for all your shopping needs for Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot. They have all your favorite foods, and you save money each time you shop, as your Price Plus card saves you more every day, all year long. ShopRite of McDonald Avenue is open daily for your convenience. A happy and healthy new year from ShopRite of McDonald Avenue and Avenue I in Brooklyn. If you're looking for a short-term rehab after a hospital stay, I'd like to introduce you to MJHS Menorah Center for Rehabilitation and Nursing Care. MJHS Menorah Center provides exceptional short-term rehab to help you get back on your feet and comprehensive long-term care for those who need extended support. Located on the picturesque Manhattan Beach in Brooklyn, Menorah Center offers expansive ocean views that bring peace and tranquility. Menorah Center observes all dietary restrictions and has a rabbi on site, catering to your spiritual and dietary needs. It is also the last Jewish not-for-profit nursing home in Brooklyn, continuing a legacy of compassionate care. Since family visits are important, they provide free on-site parking, making it easy for loved ones to visit and stay connected whenever they want. MJHS Menorah Center for Rehabilitation and Nursing Care, where exceptional care is combined with a touch of home. Discover why Menorah is the perfect place for your recovery and long-term care needs. Visit menorahcenter.org to learn more or schedule a visit by calling 718-851-5960.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Corner Hardware and Paint Center at 2266 Nostrand Avenue between Avenues H and I in Brooklyn is your toolbox with over 9,000 square feet of convenience. Ace has everything you need for sukkahs, including wooden panels, sock mats, folding beds, cots, folding tables, chairs, vinyl floors, lighting, and so much more. Shopping at Corner Hardware is a delight, as everything can be found in one handy place. Ace Corner Hardware is the handy place at 2266 Nostrand Avenue in Brooklyn, with plenty of free parking. So handy, you can even call or ask questions on WhatsApp at 718-927-4300. That's 718-927-4300. Great news. One quick same-day delivery. Look for Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Ace Hardware on DoorDash. Great for last-minute shopping through DoorDash.
Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
See store for details. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month.
Friends, my sweetest Yiddish Kinder. The schöne Teive, die Gesehme, was ich gesehme, le'alte, le'chaim, Teive, Maruchim, and Sholem. I bless you. It's a good year, the best year, the holiest, most precious year.
You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
And we're back. Yaacov Behrman is our guest for a little while longer. We're taking some of your phone calls. Let's go to Saul in Brooklyn. Saul, your question for our guest.
Yes, well, I heard him speaking about the importance of voting, and I want to call him and say, first of all, thank you, because I agree with you. I happen to be 75 years young. I've never missed an election. Very, very important. Doesn't even matter who you vote for in a certain way, because political people look and try to see where the neighborhoods are voting, and that's where they're paying attention to people, and they're paying attention to the issues that the people want. Voting is very important, and you never know. You may elect the president. I happen to have been a Democrat my whole life, but a year ago I switched to Republicans because I'm completely disillusioned with the Democrats. I don't mind saying it on the radio. Let's go Trump, win, Democrats out, Republicans in. So that's my opinion, but whoever your opinion is.
But you don't have to be a Republican to vote for a Republican candidate. You know that, right, in the general?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry. I didn't get what you just said.
In a general election, you could vote for either a Republican or Democrat. You don't have to be a Republican to vote for a Republican.
Absolutely. If you're a Democrat and you want to vote for Trump, you're perfectly legal to do that. So no matter what party you're with, when you get to the general election, you can vote for the nominee of any party, actually. And the important thing is to get out and vote, make a difference, let them know that the Jewish vote is out there and that the neighborhoods are voting strongly and people will pay attention. And who knows, you might be the one who elects the president of your choice. You might be that. It's such a close election, so it's important for everybody to get out there. I want to encourage Rabbi Burman. I want to encourage anybody who goes out and vote. It doesn't take very long. You get in there, 5 minutes later, you're out. And you know you did what you're supposed to do, and it's not just your opinion, but you actually made a difference. Very, very important.
Anyway, thank you for your phone call. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Here's an email from Barbara. She didn't catch the title for your video online. How can one find it?
Not for gay and voting.
I'm not going to say how to spell that. Do you have an English equivalent as well?
It was on, I guess, COL Live has it on their YouTube channel.
Okay, so you can find it at COL Live. Now, we had Bruce Teitelbaum a number of weeks ago saying that Orthodox Jews in general, should show Hakaras Hatov recognition for the work that Mayor Adams has done for Israel and standing up for the Jewish communities. Even though he's going through tough times right now, we as a Jewish community should be saying thank you and supporting him. Your opinion?
First of all, I want to first comment on the caller. You know, one of the things we looked at when we made this, we sent a report out to the whole Crown Heights on how, yes, it's important to vote no matter who you vote for. Elected do look whether the community comes out, and they do care. I did look at 2 elections in Crown Heights, and I was able to demonstrate to the community how their votes decided the election results. In a community like Crown Heights, the community decided the city council race and the assembly race. It was able to show, based on, we knew how the community voted. We were able, for whatever reason, we pretty much had a good idea because it was unique races. And we're able to show the residents of Crown Heights that their vote actually had an impact in deciding the next city council member and assembly member. Regarding Mayor Eric Adams, first of all, Zev, as you are aware, I put together the first coalition of rabbis, Hasidic rabbis that supported the mayor. Crown Heights was from his first supporters. He was our state senator, our borough president. He's a dear personal friend, and many of his senior staff are dear personal friends. And I agree with Bruce that we forever are grateful to the mayor for standing up for the Jewish community and for his friendship. And what's going on now is very painful to me. A lot of my friends that I've known for 15, 20 years are suffering now and going through a hard time, and it's tragic. And I pray for them, and I hope that they end up, well and doing well. I don't know exactly what Bruce means by support. I tweeted immediately after the story, the news broke that the mayor was a friend. He's been supportive to the Jewish community, and all that. I'm not sure what else we could do, besides demonstrate that the mayor has been a good man for years. Regarding the indictment so far, what I've seen, it doesn't seem to. Again, I'm not a legal scholar. I don't have a background here, but a mayor of New York City being charged with taking an upgrade or something like that, it doesn't seem to warrant that level of investigation or that level of enforcement. In my view, you think typically when a mayor is accused of something, it's stealing billions of dollars, right? Not getting an upgrade on a flight or getting a free hotel room or something, or paying $500 for a more expensive hotel room. That's, in my view, it seems to be a lot based on the information which is now public to go after the mayor. Whether the mayor did something wrong or didn't do something wrong, I have no idea. I guess he's putting forth his defense now, and we're going to let the legal system play out. But I can say with absolute certainty that the mayor has always been a friend to the community, a friend of Israel in our darkest time. We don't abandon friends when they're going through hard times. We don't abandon them. What does it mean to support? I'm not sure. But definitely we don't abandon friends, and the mayor's been a friend, and he'll continue to be a friend.
No, he's been a very strong supporter of Israel, and the truth is he is entitled to due process. And
Exactly.
quite frankly, there calls for him to resign. It's not his interest to resign, because if he resigns, he's open for exposure. If he makes a deal in the future where he has to resign as part of a deal is one thing, but just to resign because people say resign, he'd be foolish to do so.
But I don't think that's what the mayor's argument is. I think the mayor's argument is it's the interest of New York City for him to remain mayor as he fights these charges, not for personal interests. I think he's saying it's the interest of New York for him to remain mayor. And if that changes, the mayor is going to make a decision whether or not he should resign for the good of the city or not. But at this point in time, the mayor feels he could run the city effectively, despite the fact he's fighting these charges. And again, I don't know that it's my place to take a position on the actual charges, especially at this stage. But it just seems to me like you hear about this indictment, the mayor of New York is indicted. You expect, again, I only read the initial indictment. You expect charges of billions or hundreds of millions of dollars. And he's charged with taking, I didn't even know, by the way, that it's illegal for a city official to take an upgrade in a foreign country.
Well,
I thought
listen, you can go on a plane if you're depending on your status. They can give you an upgrade too. They have an opening. They can give you
right. But if an elected official from New York is, let's say, visiting Israel, right, a hotel, and the hotel gives them an upgrade, they're required to report it. People get upgraded all the time. I don't know the law. I wasn't even aware that's a crime.
Well, Councilman Jim Gennaro on this program a couple of weeks ago stated clearly in his opinion, his professional opinion, that the reason why they went after Mayor Eric Adams because he opposed Washington regarding the migrants, and this was payback. And the mayor has said that, and others have too. I'm just saying what Councilman Jim Gennaro said just a couple of weeks ago on this program.
I'll tell you something. It's the laws. Unfortunately, in the country we live in, the world we live in, the law is not applied equally. And the law is applied to certain people more aggressively than other people. And there's no question that the current charges before us do not appear to warrant this aggressive investigation or this level of investigation. And in my opinion, I'm not taking a position on whether it was legal or not legal. I'm just saying, why are they charging the mayor with this? I have no idea why they're going after the mayor. Is it possible? I have no idea. I think that we could all come up with theories, and personally, I think that they're going after the mayor for whatever reason, and the question is, whether or not he'll be able to defend himself or not, and beat these charges. But of course, the mayor has been a friend, and we never abandoned friends. And
question halakha, if hakara satov, recognition of the
what
good.
does hakara satov mean?
Means recognition of good that somebody's done for you. You have to say thank you.
I understand that, but we recognize the mayor has been a dear friend, not just the Jewish community of New York, to the worldwide Jewish community, a personal friend to Crown Heights. I know the mayor for 15 years, but it doesn't mean I'm required to take a position on his innocence or guilt. I'm required to stand with him.
You're saying, listen, as long as he's the mayor, we should not be calling for him to resign. We should be supportive of him and saying that he
I think it's like Zev, like I clarified, at this point in time, the mayor has said that he could effectively run the city despite the charges. I think the question is not a question of a hakara satov. I think it's a question of, as a mayor, can the mayor effectively run the city? If he could effectively,
there's a lot of turmoil right now in City Hall. So many people exiting and going. There's a lot of chaos.
So the mayor has to. So then they have to get it together. I mean, at least my experience at City Hall is it's still running, and people are still answering phones over there, and community affairs unit is still very active in City Hall. But I don't think it comes down to hakara satov. I think the mayor himself has to make a decision whether he could run the city. As long as he can run the city, he has a right to be mayor until there's some sort of trial and there's a verdict. But if at some point in time the mayor sees that he cannot run the city, and the city's not running effectively, then he has to make a decision whether he could get it together or have somebody else run the city. I don't think that has to do with the hakara satov.
It's going to be Jumaane Williams. He's next in line, according to the.
No, I'm not. First of all, I trust the mayor's judgment in this area, and I believe as long as he says he can effectively run the city, we should allow him to run the city. But I'm just pointing out that I don't think it has to do with whether or not we have a hakara satov. I think, can he run the city or not? That's the only question.
Okay. Now, before we go, we have about a moment or so left. One of the times we had you on dealing with a congregation, Anshe Lubavitch in Borough Park, Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
It was fighting for control. Where is the status now? Where is it up to?
So
with the people who knocked down the shul, there was a fight. Who owns it?
First of all, I took sort of a little bit of a step back, but I do know what's going on, but I'm not actively involved as I was. I can tell you that there was a ruling from a rabbinic court that they have to put up a $5 million bond before they knock down the shul, and they ripped the shul down without putting up that bond. And till today, to my knowledge, there's no bond that was put up, and the shul has been destroyed. Now that some of the members went to court to try to preserve the assets of the shul, to make sure a shul is going to be built there. And I believe sometime in maybe it's November, it's going to go, or December, it's going before a judge, and we'll see what happens.
Yaacov, people ask me again, let's give out that information for people to find that video. I'm still getting some emails. So what is that information again?
You have you can't put like a chat or I would go to the CO Live's YouTube channel, look for a video Medarif Gay and Voting, and you'll see it there. And Zev, if you want, I could send it to you. You could share it with people. It's a documentary on why it's important to vote.
It is very important to vote. Keep up the good work. We need to have better and more voters.
Yeah, I hope you didn't get me into trouble with the mayor's questions over here.
I think, if anything, you're supportive of the mayor's. So
no, in general, I'm saying I don't know. I wasn't ready for it. You didn't tell me you told me you're going to do a.
Something as we're having the conversation, we talk about politics. So certainly he is.
Listen, Zeb, I think I want to tell you that I stand out in Crown Heights in the sense that our former senator, Jesse Hamilton, was a very dear friend of mine. He still is. And I remained a friend after he lost his election. And the mayor's chief advisor, Ingrid, is a very dear friend of mine. And I'll always be a friend. Our friendship is more than just being in office. We've known each other many, many years. And the mayor, we know the mayor in Crown Heights for close to 20 years. And the mayor will always be a friend, and we're praying for him. And this is whatever you want, wherever you stand on this, whatever you believe the mayor should step down, the mayor shouldn't step down, what you believe about the charges, whether these charges are serious or they're not serious. many of us in the New York political arena have dear friends that are being accused of wrongdoing and are in trouble now and in pain. And everybody, I think, is in agreement that we want to support them through this process. They should not be in pain. They should not have to suffer. And that it should end out good for everybody. And
Amen. Yaacov Behrman, community leader, active in voter registration, active in Chabad. Thank you for joining here with us.
Thank you, Zev. Good luck.
Good luck. Shana Tova. Yaacov Behrman.